Michael Cohen said, "I spent time in prison. I took the fall. I did what was asked of me. Now the man who directed those actions walks free." Donald Trump, convicted on 34 felony counts, received an unconditional discharge. No jail time, no fines, no probation, just freedom. This feels like a punch to the gut. It feels like a betrayal of justice. I believed in the system and the idea that everyone is equal under the law, but that belief is shattered now. The message is clear. There are two systems of justice in America, one for the powerful and one for everyone else. This isn't justice. It's a mockery of it. And it cuts deep, not just for me but for everyone who believes in the rule of law. Judge Merchan justified this leniency by citing Trump's impending presidency. He didn't want to interfere with the office. But what about the interference in our justice system? What about the message this sends? It screams that the wealthy and powerful are above the law. It tells us that consequences are for the rest of us, the ordinary citizens. This isn't justice, it's privilege at its worst. This case wasn't about politics, it was about right and wrong. Trump falsified business records, he abused his power and he got away with it. Trump's behavior throughout this ordeal has been appalling. No remorse, no accountability, just denial and attacks on the very system that just handed him a get-out-of-jail-free card. He calls the trial a witch hunt. He attacks the judges and prosecutors. He undermines the very fabric of our democracy. And with every attack, he chips away at the public's trust in the institutions designed to protect us. This isn't just about one man or one case. It's about the future of our country. When those in power are unaccountable, it erodes the very foundation of our society. It creates a dangerous precedent. The traditional ways of fighting back against corruption and tyranny are no longer effective. What we're facing now is not just political opposition but a brazen oligarchy. This is leadership that disregards tradition, fairness and the rule of law in favor of power and personal gain. The system has been manipulated to protect the interests of a few while disregarding the will and welfare of the majority. This is a battle against bullies, against individuals who have risen to power through fear, intimidation and manipulation. History has shown that bullies don't respond to civility or polite appeals. They understand force, determination, and defiance. To combat this kind of leadership, we need to adopt a new mindset, one of unyielding resistance, clear and unapologetic in our opposition. The billionaire class has taken control, and their self-serving agenda will not benefit the majority of Americans. We cannot afford complacency. The American people didn't turn out in sufficient numbers to stop this, and now we're left with the consequences. But it's not too late to resist. We need to stand together boldly and send a clear message. We will not stand for corruption, greed, and bullying. This is not a time for niceties or sugar-coated fucking words. It's a time for action, direct, unflinching, and relentless. The only way to counter this is to speak their language, the language of strength and resolve. We must push back with all the tools available, hold them accountable, and fight for the values that truly define this country. The fight won't be easy, but it's necessary. We owe it to ourselves and future generations to stand up and say, no more. We cannot let this stand. We cannot allow the powerful to operate with impunity. We must demand accountability. We must demand justice. This fight is far from over. Appeals will be filed. The legal battle will continue. But we cannot rely on the courts alone. We the people must raise our voices and say fuck you, convict. We must demand that our elected officials hold Trump accountable. We must push for reforms that strengthen our justice system and ensure that no one is above the law. Our democracy depends on it.